Can you hear me?
Money.
Yes.
All right, we're good so far.
Okay.
And
so far.
the stream's up
Guys-
right now, so let's try this one more mother-king time.
Do I still need to turn myself up, or is it good?
You're good now.
You sound good here.
Turned down for what?
As long as we have the air horn, that's all that matters.
Fuck's sake. I'm gonna calm down. All right, guys, let's do this. Just mute your mics. Let's go. Hey, kid, the stream can hear us now, right? I hope someone says yes, because we're going live.
And here's all of us, I hope. I
Yeah.
think at this point, even if they can't hear all of us.
Yeah, mute the mics, damn it. We're doing
Right.
this.
Cheers, mate. The cavalry's here.
That's my line. Let's try that again. Cheers, love. The cavalry's here.
A podcast where we keep watch over Overwatch. This is The Cavalry.
What's up, nerds, and welcome back to The Cavalry, the show in which we keep watch over Overwatch. And this is episode 100. A historical moment here for us on The Cavalry, and it wouldn't be a Cavalry podcast recording without an amazing amount of technical glitches and errors that completely floored and ruined the timing of the show. But you know what? We persevered. We came through the adversity, and we're here for episode 100, and we have a great one. But we need to get to our co-hosts and get to the episode so we can make sure we get everything we need to get to tonight. So we will go ahead and start off with my good friend who is always here with us. Even if he's not here, he's here in spirit, you know. And that is Tank Sword, also known as Stephen Parrish. Tank, what's up, nerd?
Hello, everybody. My name's Tank. I'm glad to be here tonight. Slambo, how are you? Mel, how are you doing?
I told them we had to go quick through introductions. And so Tank is taking it as literal as possible. That is our Tank. That is the way we do. But Tank, yeah, okay. Thank you very much. You followed your you did your job. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
For once, you know.
For once, you did it. So also, let's go ahead and we'll continue our quote-unquote speedy introductions for episode number 100. We also have our wonderful and beloved Mel Arena, also known as Melissa Schisler. Mel, what's up, nerd?
Hey, we're back again.
Again. Woo! We
And-
had a slew of issues.
Yes, Tank and I did very much so enjoy the Slambo salt that was coming from the technical issues.
You guys
Okay.
remarked on my angry eyebrows, and my daughter has these. So, like, she just constantly looks pissed, like, for sure. And I feel bad for that she has my eyebrows.
Yeah, I mean, he gets this real angry face, and he just like shuts down completely, and you're like, Slambo, and he's like, so you know it's not working.
It's
Fine.
basically the stress, you know, and like technology doesn't make sense. All the settings are right. I'm living in a virtual world, and all I did was just keep restarting stuff until it worked, and it worked. So, and it was working great before we had to fix the OBS audio. And anyway, we're here. It's working. I was
I
stressed
blame
out.
Totem.
Also, Mel, I want to remark that you are behind Papa Jeffy Cap roasting by an open fire. Praise him.
Yes, he invited me to Christmas this year. We're pretty close.
I'm jealous. And honestly, jealousy does not even begin to speak when it comes to mine when I'm about to introduce this next guest. He is the multi-talented, the multifaceted, the multi-tooled, multi-zord. Buddy, you're the old host of the Cavalry. It's so good to have you back. Thank you so much for joining us.
Did you just call me a tool?
Kind of. Like, in
Yeah.
more or less words, I kind of did,
It's-
actually.
It's not inaccurate. You know what's weirder than a baby that has angry eyebrows?
What's that?
This happened to me yesterday. A baby that turns and kisses you on the mouth. Has that happened to you yet?
Like, on accident, we've had a couple, like accidental moments where, you know, I'm like, she's on my shoulder and I turn to check on her.
That's what I'm
and
talking about.
And she dives in open mouth on me. Yeah, it happened
Right,
once.
right,
It
yeah.
happened once.
She's rooting for like milk, but goes straight for the for the lips. That's a thing. Super weird.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a thing, and I think if it's and like this
Parents don't talk about this kind of thing.
Dude, I don't know, and there's like a lot of things that you just kind of have to deal with, but that one definitely the first time it caught me off guard. So now I'm a little more protective, a little more blocking.
Wait, so it happens more often? Because it's
No.
only happened to me once.
So I'm saying it happened the once, but now I'm aware of it, so I take measures to avoid it even more. Is all I'm saying. Anyway,
Anyway.
whatever. We're at episode 100 of the Cavalry, and this is, like I said, a historical moment. I mean, 100 episodes. I mean, not every one of us has been here for every episode, but the folks you see in front of you, the folks we have on this episode, has made up the bulk of every episode of the Cavalry. Tank and Multizord started this in October of 2016. You know, it was, or 2015. Forgive me. I was even before then. You guys started it forever
It was
ago.
15?
I think I might be jumbled up. I don't have it in front of me, but I'm just saying, you guys have been doing this for such a long time. We're already to episode 100. It feels like it just came so quick. I was going back through the episodes and looking at stuff, and I was just blown away at how much we've done and how much time we've spent talking about Overwatch, and how none of us really seem sick of it. We still look forward to the show every week, and we still love talking about and playing this game, with the exception of Multi, who hasn't had a lot of time to play, and understandably so. I know with mine, I barely get to play anymore. But
Well, it's not that I got sick of it, and certainly I didn't get sick
No.
of being on the show. I just, I was trying to clear room for allowing that kid into my life. And honestly, if I'm being real with you guys, I think it was the right move for me overall. And but I've been listening ever since, just tuning into all the antics. I think I could write a history book on the relationship between Tank and Mel. It seemed to really shift around BlizzCon time for one reason or another. I can't really think of what it would be, but
no
hashtag
need,
for the greater good.
No need to rehash Multi. Jeez, you're like a totem. You come in here, I think you're on like, I'm dad, you're dad, I'm stepdad. I think I'm gonna have an ally. I think I'm in a good spot coming in here, and then there you go. You all of a sudden sneak up and do a totem attack, and you totally, are on their side. And you're pumping up their cause.
Do you mean
we bond over kissing our children, and then I just stab you in the back. That was my plan the whole time.
Slaybo,
do you guys
mean
remember-
totally?
I meant totemly, yes.
Well, you said totally. I said, did you mean totemly?
I did.
I'll leave.
You have wireless headphones, so just go. Mel, what were you saying?
Do you guys remember the last episode that Multi was on?
Oh, the one where I snuck on.
Yeah.
The one where we maybe discussed every inappropriate topic you could ever discuss that you shouldn't discuss, all those things. I think we missed politics, but other than that.
Let's do that this episode then.
Well, that's
So-
funny, Mel. Hold on. No, we don't need to do that, because what I've done is I went back, and initially I'd spent my plan was to go get a clip from every episode. That turned out to be quite cumbersome. So what I've done is I've gone back and I've done a supercut of a lot of different moments. Sometimes they're very poignant moments that had like inside jokes that were created, and sometimes they were just one-off comments that I felt were worthy. So this took me quite a long time to compile a lot of this together. There was one clip that I missed with Mel. I put a clip in that I was supposed to put a more funny one in, so I already told her that. But I'm going to play it here on the Cavalry. So live, Tank, Mel, and Multi have never heard this. No one else has ever heard this before. I did it with music, and I didn't like it, so I took the music out. So it's just going to be a supercut of moments from the Cavalry. It's about 7 minutes long, so it's not short. And I'm going to go ahead and play that. So we're going to talk about it once it's done, guys. So I sure hope you enjoy.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us on our very first episode of The Cavalry, a podcast in which we will keep watch over Overwatch.
I like pretty pink ponies prancing in the prairie.
Tally it up.
Pizza
Street?
Pizza Street. Yeah, there's the real answer.
There's what I need to go. Oh, I hope we don't get slapped with some sort of explicit rating for this, but whatever, deal with it.
Yeah, well,
Leave us a review.
we're talking in an empty room at this point.
I'm also going to pile on and sound terrible here, but I kind of looked at it like at my trash man. Like, it's work that someone has to do, and I'm glad he's doing it. That's what I took away from that thread.
That's kind of what I was getting at too. But hey, again, to the trash man as well. More power to you.
To the trash man. I'm so sorry.
Another problem I have. There's no thought process in playing Lucio. It's, do I fruit boot over here, or do I wheel shoe over here? Oh, my entire team's taking damage. Let me use my ult and continue to wheel shoe.
And lastly, we have got a very special guest here with us. We've got John Horstman. He is the man who pushes the buttons for the Payload podcast, as well as the Well Met podcast about Hearthstone. So how's it going, John?
Hey guys, great to be here. Everything's going great. I personally prefer ecolytic beef in my burrito over tofu any day of the week.
It is a little bit of a poke, but you reward yourself with a good hook.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Always feels
Got to be a good hooker.
Yes.
Someone was going to say it.
We do have coming back, joining us from, I think it was episode 2 we had John last there, but our good buddy Totemly Drunk from the Convert to Raid Guild. How's it going, Totem?
Oh, it's going great. It's been a while since I've been on, since BlizzCon.
Yeah, I know. We talked to you right after BlizzCon, and then it's been a few months. But I mean, the beta was down in some of this time, and
I wasn't in at the time too, so that didn't help.
Another person is here with us today. We have got Hexagrams from Gosu Gamers. He's one of the casters we've been talking about pretty much this whole time. Hex, how's it going, man?
Going great. You guys have been talking about me? I'm going to have to check out the backlogs here.
Yeah.
My ears are burning.
Don't do that.
Yeah,
you don't want to.
I assumed as much that it wasn't all praiseworthy.
The world could always use more heroes.
Burst! Onto the scene!
So if you don't hear from us next week, know that we're still out there following this stuff. Obviously, I'm going to be at BlizzCon myself. I'm actually going to come back with a few things for you guys. We can actually take the audio from the World of Podcasts panel.
Welcome to the World of Podcasts 2016 Overwatch panel.
So anyway, we also have, because Zorns is not here, he was difficult to get a hold of this morning, but that's okay. No big deal. We do have someone filling in his place, though, and our listeners might know him best from the Overwatchers podcast, as well as The Instance and several others. It's the face of Widowmaker herself, Patrick Beja.
I really appreciate you reminding everyone of this unfortunate incident.
I can't believe this is actually the Pinky and the Brain podcast, everybody. Welcome.
We've changed it over.
And
Yeah.
like those charm letters.
Yeah, like something
we're
really
onto
sweet
something.
looking. And not like, sweet man, that's awesome. I mean, like, oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, no, that's how charm letters are, for
Yeah.
sure. Big fan.
It's not that I hate Junkrat as a character.
No.
It's that I hate that the community just latches onto him and just picks him into the worst scenarios possible. Have you ever been lost in a forest that had a lot of fog and random trees, and then, like a clown chasing you with a knife?
Nearly all the time, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much that.
I think that's about enough of that. Amazing. And Steven, I didn't tell you I wanted you to do this from now on, but I also want you to be the one that shouts out Lords of the Storm, our other podcast on the same network for Heroes of the Storm. But it's going to be something that I'm going to put on your note from now on, just so you can shamelessly plug Kevin's other show.
Who?
Mevin.
Oh, Mevin, sorry. Oh, man. It's finally going to happen this season, but there is still one more bug that is not anything related to my
that's
computer.
not a bug. That's Hanzo. They're not going to take him out, Steven.
Oh.
That's not a bug.
Well, I've been sending emails. I guess maybe they don't see it the same way I do. So never mind. You're right. It's not a bug.
But what we do have is none other than the new, you're still new, or there's a newer, but the new host of Watchpoint Radio, Blazin' Bob. Welcome back to the show, Bob.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Woo!
This is the show that started it all. It's where I was like, I want a podcast.
The first name on the card was Mel Arena, and here you are. So thank you so much for coming in short notice and filling in for Tank.
No worries. Glad to be here.
Was it a surprise? Were you like, huh? Okay. Because
I was at work and I was like, yeah, I can do that. Okay. I should probably leave.
I think we've got a couple of amazing guests from, I dare say, one of, if not the coolest Overwatch organization out there. And that's from Wawa's Boot Camp. We have Cream Puff and Woostis. Welcome to the show, guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having us. It's great to be here.
From the Omnic Lab podcast and from other Blizzard podcasts, but really from the Overwatch world, Rob, thank you so much for joining us on the Cavalry. We're huge fans of Omnic Lab and all you do, and thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to be here.
And now they're the co-host of Heroes Never Die. What is up, Squidzord? Welcome to the Cavalry.
Thank you for having me.
And we have a very special interview for you. We're here with Moon. None
Hello.
other. There he is.
As soon as it takes a turn to Negative Town, I get to be a jerk. Just so happens I enjoy doing that. So win-win.
So they
Negative Town and Junker Town, are those the same thing?
A Overwatch player, a YouTuber, and your local, I'm going to call him, he doesn't know I'm going to call him this, but your Overwatch educator. But Hundo, welcome to the show, my friend. Thank you so much for coming on.
Hey, man, I appreciate it.
For sure. I think I'm super excited. I've been wanting a better spectator mode. I've gotten a little bit more used to the one that they have now, but it's still very choppy.
So guys, welcome to the Overwatch panel. I'm going to turn this over to Chris Chan from the Overview. He's going to be the moderator for this panel, and he's going to introduce everyone else.
So joining us, we do have Totemly Drunk from Heroes Never Die in Overwatch League Network. Totem, what's going on, buddy?
Ooh, what's up, nerd? I'm doing pretty good.
I don't know what you want me to say here. If you're trying to get me to slander our Lord and Savior, that's not going to happen.
All I'm doing is giving you an opportunity to praise him. Praise him.
Praise him.
There's no slandering here, Tank.
Have a great holiday from us here at the Cavalry. Have a safe new year, and we will see you in 2018.
Bye.
I'm going to miss him.
I know.
We should have exited the show with Christmas music.
You guys want to sing Jingle Bells over Lucio?
Yes.
You go, Tank.
You started.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. That's all I got. I don't know what that's.
And that is it, my friends. Again, I had to trim that down from so much longer to get to that point. I know it was still pretty long, but I hope you guys... I went in chronological order, so each of those moments, if you go back, start at episode 0 and go all the way up to episode 99. Again, not every episode, but I just went through a bunch of ones and took a bunch of clips. So, Tank, I'm going to start with you. I need to hear your thoughts on the supercut.
That was so good. The one thing that really stood out from all of it is my microphone quality has changed drastically from the beginning to now.
Totally the same.
I could tell, when I was in Oklahoma for a couple episodes, I could hear the quality being different in the hotel room. So anyway, I was the same way. I was like, oh God, that episode I was in a hotel room. I could tell. That's so funny, but that's what stood out to you, Mel. Anything that stood out to you?
Well, I'm glad you didn't put the seagull thing in there. I thought for sure I was going to be reamed for that one again.
I didn't. That was not in the plan.
But, oh gosh, it's just hilarious to look back and, Tank, I just don't even know.
And Mel, I know you've not listened to every episode of the Cavalry, so some of that stuff.
What?
I'm just saying, it's okay. There's no way you could go back and listen to everything. I mean, you could have by now, but I'm just saying, it was so many moments there. Some of the stuff you might not get or you missed out on. To me, for someone who's never listened to the show and they hear Steven ask Kevin about the forest with the clowns, and Kevin just says absolutely every day. It
right?
was just that.
Just
yeah,
that wasn't a weird thing to ask.
I don't even remember the context of that one. What were we talking about?
Dude, I was trying to go back, and I had to listen to these things for so long because the context was always so obscure. It never the charm bracelets had nothing to do with charm bracelets.
That actually just summed up the entire show right there.
Yeah. Right, and that's what I love about kind of what we've always done, what we've always committed to here on the show is, yes, we're going to talk about Overwatch, but we're going to be very referential. We're going to talk about other sources of media and other forms of entertainment. And we're going to go on these tangents that make no sense to what we're talking about, but we will bring it back to the point. And I think that we've kind of committed to that style. And so as I went back and was listening to episodes, I was just like, God, we were nuts. Like that's, you know, and I loved it.
Not sure how that related, but somehow we pulled that in.
It's crazy.
Made it work.
It's crazy. And that's like what I love about this show. So 100 episodes in, it was just so refreshing to go back and listen to a lot of those things. And like you said, Tank, the quality. But Multi, was there any other moment from that kind of hit you in the feels? Maybe not the funny bone, but kind of like a reminiscent moment.
Oh, I mean, there were a ton of those, but no, the funny moment I have to point out was Steven's rant about the wheel shoes. Like your clip of that was, I mean, because it was a long conversation that you must have taken that from, but that clip,
the best part of that, yes, yeah,
utterly perfect. You know, we wheel shoe over there, and then fruit boot over here, and oh, my team's about to die, ultimate. And wheel shoe over there. Like, I was just losing it.
So yeah, at that
I'm still crying from that one.
Yeah, I only listened to it like I did the whole thing and I cut it down and I listened to it once a couple days ago, and I haven't listened to it since. So like almost a couple of moments I forgot I put in, you know, and so it was great. So I'm glad you guys like that, and I don't know, it's something I thought about attaching to the end of the episode, but I thought that it was way more valuable to kind of play it live for you guys, live for the Twitch stream, and also get our reactions to it. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. A lot of work, but a lot of fun to put together.
Oh, thank you.
So
yeah, that was great.
Good job, Slambo.
Well, hey, I don't need a good job, but I just want you guys to be happy. I don't want you guys to hate me anymore. After BlizzCon, I've been a lot of hate for me. We have one more thing to play, and actually this comes from somebody who we mention all the time. I feel like, you know, he definitely is still in as host. He's been a guest. He's someone, again, I mention a lot, but I just have a lot of respect for Totemly Drunk from Heroes Never Die and Overwatch League Network. He's very
shameless.
I'll do it for you. But I feel like he's just a great guy, and he took the time to record a message to us on the Cavalry. So I'm going to play that for you guys here on the show. So here it is.
What's up, nerds? This is Totemly Drunk from Heroes Never Die and Overwatch League Network. I just wanted to take the time to congratulate you on 100 episodes of the Cavalry. As an avid listener since day one, I've been through it all with you. We've shared stories, plenty of laughter, at times questioned one another's fashion senses, embrace our podcast-specific memes, and found common ground in our Lord and Savior, Papa Jeffy Cap, praise him, and sometimes found common ground just out of sheer neglect from Slambo. While there have been several changes to the show, both little and big, throughout the first 100 shows, the Cavalry has always stayed true to themselves. I couldn't ask to be surrounded by a better group of friends, a better community, and podcast family. Here's to you, Multi, Tank Sword, Slambo, and Melarina on the big 100. May the next 100 be full of shameless plugs, air horns, and praise hymns. Congrats, guys.
You know, it's like when someone has a military funeral and they shoot all the guns off at the same time. For that message from Totem, he got like the air horn symphony, you know, so that was what that was for. Totem, it's a very heartfelt, kind message. We definitely appreciate it. Tank Sword, any thoughts on Totem's nice message to you?
Well, I do want to say, because Totem's been around for a while, woo! Also,
oh, yeah.
I am really curious if you were actually playing the ukulele in the background while you recorded that, or if you found like a pre-recorded ukulele.
Hey, he's a musician. He plays violin and Guitar Hero. And of those two, Guitar Hero is the only one that matters. As someone who plays both of those things, I will tell you this. So yeah, it's possible.
What about the
Which is why no one can play that well. But because he's so good at Guitar Hero, I just assumed that he was the one playing the ukulele. I don't know.
Ukulele Hero. So
thank you.
Obviously,
yes.
Thank you.
Why isn't that a thing?
It should be. Mel, did you have anything to say back to Totem? Any thoughts on his message to you?
Oh, thanks, Totem. You're so sweet. We'll have another few episodes. I'm sure they'll be full of memes.
I'm sure they will. And Multi, anything to say to your surprise message from Totem?
Why isn't Ukulele Hero a thing? I'm still not over.
That's all he's got, Totem. Nothing about you, buddy.
No, seriously, Totem, man, it's been good having you around this whole time. Even after I hopped off the show, you've still been interacting all the time with us, even me. I don't know why, but yeah. And no, seriously, like Totem's history on this show goes back to episode 2, if I'm not mistaken, where he hopped on because I had joined a CTR Hearthstone tournament that he was hosting, and just got in there and annihilated everyone, totally destroyed him. I mean, he had a disconnect, but I don't care. I won, Totem, taking that to my grave. And anyway, but just since then, it's turned into this relationship between what's turned out to be 3 shows now total, if you include the shameless plug. So, it's good to have you around, man. That's what I was looking for.
Is anybody going to address the fact that he said that he didn't think it would last after Multi left?
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Well,
I didn't either.
I mean,
frankly.
Between my math skills, my ability to state time zone, my inability to get audio to work, I'm surprised we've made it this long as well. I mean, good Lord, I'm a mess. I assure you my professional life, I'm much more buttoned up. Tank, what's up, dude?
I am offended that you thought that I, Tank Sword, would not be able to keep this family together after Dad left us. That hurts, Totem.
He's the man of the family
Yeah.
once Dad stepped away. Anyway, I really just appreciate the message, Totem.
I don't.
I know Tank does not at all. No surprise there. But I think that we're not deserved of your praise and of your friendship, and we again thank you very much for the kind words. But we, unfortunately, guys, have got to get to a podcast, and we've got a short fuse here because Multizord's got to start another show. He's double dipping. He's going back to back with Lords of the Storm here as soon as we finish up. So I think that warrants us to go ahead and step into
Prepare for operations.
As we head into our opening discussion, what we are going to start talking about is really, the year in review. So I wanted to kind of go round table here, and I know that, Kevin, you haven't been on the show, but like you said, you've been an avid listener. So what I want you guys to try to do is go into your memory banks, go into your thought process, and I want you guys to remember your favorite Cavalry moment from 2017. We're also going to talk about our favorite Overwatch moment, but I want to start with just thinking podcast-centric and really what happened this year that stood out to you. The littlest of things, the biggest of things, a few things, whatever you guys want to do. But we're going to go round table, and I'm going to mix it up here because we have our honored guest here for episode 100. We're going to start with you, Multizord. What can you, as a listener even, or even because you've been on episodes this in 2017, what do you got for me, buddy? What's your favorite Cavalry moment?
So transitioning into a listener has been super weird because, like I think I've said in the past, I used to just listen to the show and try to fill in my comments. But as time went on, eventually I was like, oh, I'm actually just a listener of the show now. So it's actually been pretty good. My favorite moment, like if I'm going to troll you, and this is also kind of true, though, it's the for the greater good stuff. Just flat out killed me. But if I'm taking it a little bit more seriously, your guys' interview with Moon was fantastic. Like, I honestly hadn't followed the guy too much up until that point. I'm really not one who watches a lot of streamers just for the sake of streaming. If I'm on Twitch, it's usually to watch a tournament of some kind. And that's actually kind of true across all my games, except like Disguised Toast and Hearthstone, of course. But, I felt like I really actually kind of get to know the guy a bit. And I know that was just a really successful episode for you guys in terms of listenership, in terms of just general interest. And I think it's been a huge help to the show. And I just thought it was really awesome. So that's got to be my honest answer, but for the greater good.
I think both the answers are acceptable. The first answer, again, rubs me a little wrong. I'm not going to lie to you. All right. It gets me a little upset.
As it should.
Because, as I took over as stepdad at that time, you were the dad that left the family. So for you to pass judgment on me is just unacceptable on so many layers.
Oh, now it's turning into that, is it?
Nope. No, it's not.
Okay, all right, God,
Oh,
okay.
shut down.
Tank, your sternness scared me. I was like, oh dear, I'm in trouble. All right, we'll keep going reverse order here. Mel, we'll go ahead and head to you next. What was your favorite Cavalry moment of the year?
Oh gosh. I mean, my favorite episode was probably my first episode because Tank wasn't there. But
Oh my
no, I'm
God.
just kidding. I'm just kidding. I think we had a lot of great things. I think our Gaguri discussion with Not Rob was awesome. The interview with Moon Moon was really cool. But I think just overall, it's just been great to get to be a part of the podcast. I've only been here, 21 episodes.
Yep.
So I'm getting there.
21 episodes. So you're drinking age now.
I am.
Yeah, no, but it was weird because it's been 21 episodes, but you've been really consistent. I don't think you've missed any episode except for you've never missed an episode. I don't think since you've been on. That's crazy. So anyway, that is something that we should give you praise for because we've had to cancel episodes or move stuff, but you've been very, very, very consistent on that front. So I don't know. That's awesome. So. Tank, I guess we'll pass the buck to you. Do you have anything you'd like to remember from 2017 and the Cavalry?
I'd say I don't know, man. There's a lot because when it started, and it was Kevin, Travis, and myself. It was, and excuse my language, but it was just a shit show. Like whatever came to our minds ended up coming out, and it was hilarious because we would just sit down with our template and we would somewhat follow it, but we've gotten better at like bringing the course back around to the subject. But back then, once we took that off road, things really just stayed on that road and just. Yeah. It was
you got chased
fantastic.
by clowns and things like that.
Murderous clowns.
Well, if you remember,
all the time.
One of the clips was Travis saying, we're talking to the wall anyway. That was like the first few episodes, and you guys were just ranting. And I was like, this is great to get Travis to be like, no one's listening anyway. And I think
and at the time, we were pretty much like, there were a few listeners. Totem was, I think, one of 4 of them or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It wasn't that small, but it was not big. That's for sure. I mean, the game was in the beta. Or not even in the beta at that point.
And that friends and family alpha almost.
Yeah, we were just hanging out, waiting to get in. And then Tank was the first one to get in. So we all played on his account.
Allegedly.
And that...
Allegedly.
Yeah, alleged account. And that, I have to say, is my most memorable moment from the show, period, is... Kevin and I had a discussion really early on during the second wave of invites that was coming out. And we were on the last day of the invites. And I think it was over Christmas break. Is that right, Kevin? Because I remember...
Yeah, it was around the winter time at least.
I'm pretty sure it was in December. That much I'm certain about. It was in December. But I remember talking to Kevin on the phone and... him and I going, if none of us get into the alpha, that's going to kill the show. And within a couple out, Kevin ecstatic on the phone going, you got in! And from
yeah, because we've been
moment
trying
on,
to sign in on each other's accounts the entire time.
Yep, and that moment was the saving grace for the show because we were heavily considering stopping it, and that got us to where we are today through all of the ups and downs.
Yeah, I don't think we would have stopped it entirely, but we definitely were talking about having like a major pause until someone got on there, because in those times, like, you had to be playing the game to really talk about it, and we just would have been totally hamstrung without it. So I kind of feel bad that we danced around the TOS a little there, but I don't.
I mean, at the time, it was really difficult because there's only 2 other podcasts, maybe 3. I can't remember. I remember talking about it back then, and there wasn't a lot, but the other podcasts had their entire podcast crew in the alpha already, and then there was us.
There were some bigger name ones where
Playing
they
quick
just
play?
got invites through the friends and family thing. Like
Yep.
Overwatchers was in there, a couple others. So I mean, it made sense. But yeah,
No, I
we
mean,
made it work.
I remember just, being like so jealous of Steven, but then, I was able to get access to someone's account and get to play quite a bit. And, I got satiated too and like my hunger for it. But I remember checking my invites every minute of every day, just looking at all my accounts, all my emails. I kept logging into Battle.net and scrolling down to see if that Overwatch icon was still grayed out or if it was colored and lit up, And I mean, it was so important to me. And so, I mean, that's kind of where all my passion started. I haven't felt that kind of pull to a game or that want to be involved in something in so long. And it was almost like that exclusivity of it made it even better for us. For you guys to have to share an account and like have to trade off or strategize on when you would play and who was going to log off and wait 20 minutes and log in somewhere. I'm sure it was like, all that craziness went on. All to play this game, and I think that it's just to put it in that perspective, in that context to me, it's super humbling, that where we are now, where we're whining about what hero's next and what map comes out next. Like we couldn't even play this game and we had a podcast about it, that's the amazing thing.
Yeah, Tank and I were LANing, and by that I mean because we had access to one account, he would hop on and play. I'd sit there and play a game of HOTS or whatever, and then we'd switch. And that was it for good 2-3 LANs. Quality gaming time.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So just what a crazy run. So from there, I guess what we'll do is I want to kind of talk about mine real fast here. I won't spend too long on it. But there's two moments for me that stick out, and they both kind of got stolen by you guys, but I'm going to stick to my guns, okay? The first one I liked was this. This is from the Moon Moon interview. Not just because the Moon Moon interview was amazing, but because we got to listen to this song. Okay, so that's one reason why I think that honestly, that song's amazing. But the Moon Moon interview was another special moment for us. Just like I was logging in to check for my Overwatch access, I was logging in to watch the download numbers, and the Moon Moon army came in force. I mean, they downloaded the heck out of that episode, and it was so fun just to watch that go and climb. And we didn't retain those numbers by any stretch of the imagination, but being able to show my wife that stuff and her being like, whoa, it was fun for me for like this brief kind of moment. And that's not why I do this, right? We're not doing this to get that many downloads an episode. It's just we want to connect with a smaller community, but that was the fun of it. It was so weird and so unique. That was what was cool about it. And then the other moment Mel kind of took, and I mean this because you can't plan these things, but you came on to guest on an episode last minute, and I had never gotten so many private messages that said bring her on as a permanent host. No, and people wrote reviews. Multi wrote me.
I was one of those.
3 paragraphs of why, not just, and it was funny because Multi was on the same page with me. All the things I felt recording the episode is what he saw as a listener and what he pointed out to me. So it really kind of validated what was in my head. And so to me, kind of like being in that search for that new host and stumbling upon it in such an organic method, and then having someone who's been as dedicated as you and has like taken over our Twitter and really just connected with the community and ran game nights last minute. And to think that this person that's done all that didn't even like listen to podcasts that long ago and wasn't even really into the Overwatch or PC gaming. So anyway, Mel, I don't want to, make it, too mushy here, but it was kind of a really special moment. It was fun, and we really were, you really made the show better. So that was a huge one for me.
Well, thanks. I had a great time doing it. I didn't even know I wanted to podcast because I was on it before with Bob, but there were so many of us, and I was just like, eh. And Bob always makes fun of me because during that podcast,
what you were doing. Yep, tell them all.
I was playing Hearthstone during the podcast.
The whole time? Nice.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was fine. I can multitask.
Multitasking. Yeah.
Right?
I can't knock you for that.
But he kept giving me crap about that. And then I went on the episode with Slambo, and it was literally like an hour before recording. He's like, hey, last minute, do you think you could guest host tonight? And I'm like, sure. Yeah, that's fine. And then I got here and I was like, well, I played the game a lot, so I guess I probably could talk about some stuff, and it went really well. So I
So
felt
your-
it too. It wasn't
Your
one-sided.
contributions to the conversation have been spot on. Probably better than what I was doing for a good chunk there, for sure. Just in general, like you've. Yeah. Oh no, I shouldn't compliment you like this. I got to keep up the bad dad.
No, dude, keep
No.
the
No,
positivity.
don't.
going.
Don't
not compliment her. So do. I don't know.
no. Put on your leather jacket.
And
Start
just
the insults,
ride away.
and then ride off into the sunset.
Oh
Sounds like
gosh. Yeah, you guys, it's been a great 20 something episodes with you guys, and it's been a great community. I love the community in general. So
I agree. We have a very special community. I really enjoy our Discord. I enjoy, it's not, I know there's a lot of people who talk and are really interactive, and there's some who are interactive sometimes, but that's not, like, the interactivity is not what's important to me. It's just to be able to go to that Discord and just kind of know that's my home. That's, that's the podcast that, I first joined, and that's where my podcast life started, and it's just it's a weirdly special place in my heart. It's the number one on my Discord list, like the first thing on all the little Discord icons is the Cavalry. So we built a nice little home there. Squid keeps pressuring me to apply for like an official partnership. And it's just like the same reason I don't do the Patreon is like, I love our grassroots type of conversational thing we do, right? We're not trying to be the most professional out there. We're trying to really just do it our way and connect with people that enjoy our type of show. So anyway, I digress. Just for time's sake, I know, again, we've got quite a bit of time. I want to, we've got a good chunk of time left here to record, but we do have some other things to talk about. And one more thing here for the opening discussion. I want you guys to talk about your favorite Overwatch moment from 2017. So I don't want to go back and remind you guys of all the things we've had. You know what maps have come out. You know what heroes have been announced and released. So just kind of want to go roundtable. We'll go in our normal order, and we're going to start with the infamous Tank Zord. And Tank, what was your favorite Overwatch moment from 2017?
I have two.
Bring them on.
One was the release of Sombra. To see the community freak out and just rifle through all of the information that they had available trying to figure this out was not something that I partook in, but it was just fun to see everyone react and the information they came up with, how one group of people saw some information that this group used, took that information, and then just ran with it. And it spiderwebbed and ran all over the place. I loved it. That being said, I'm sad that hasn't happened again. But the other one is the progression of Jeff Kaplan. Going from super serious Jeff Kaplan developer updates to the most recent video he put out, which we won't discuss at this moment, but that and at BlizzCon 2017 in his stand-up routine wasn't really an announcement. It was the Jeff Kaplan, I'm the funniest guy in the world minute. That's it for me.
Yeah.
Those
he
ones.
waved at us.
He did wave at us. And Mel, I was going to
Bingo.
say, you're next. Is that yours, Mel? Is yours the moment he acknowledged us due to Tank's bellowing scream across the arena?
I mean, that's definitely one of them. And then he invited me to, his house for Christmas. So that's pretty cool too. But I think I would have to say my favorite moment this last year of Overwatch has been the game nights. I think it's so much fun getting to know the other people in the community, getting everybody together, just having fun, not worrying so much about what rank you are, what comp you're playing, and doing different game modes and doing comp. It's all a good time. And I love that the community really comes together and has fun doing it.
I miss those so much. It's just tough, with doing the two shows. And my wife, she's a stay-at-home mom too, so she's, she basically watches, the girl all day, and I'm at work. And then when I come home, again, I have 2 nights that I already kind of bail and disappear for a few hours to do different shows. And so it's tough to always get away. I kind of feel like this, I don't want to bail on her that Friday nights and stuff like that. And Saturdays are sometimes tough too, but I'm going to do a better job. We're going to be ranging some more babysitters. She's kind of getting to an older age where she can stay the night. And both the grandmas are like, they want to keep her overnight. So I don't know when, but I'm going to promise you, Mel, I'm going to start being to game nights intermittently every once in a while. It's going to happen a little more as she gets a little older. So it's getting better. And I love those two. I miss them. Like I almost came the other night, and then I couldn't make it last minute, and I was super sad. But those are those are good things to think about. I guess. And Multi, what about you?
I love how you say that. She's already older. It's like, how old is she again?
3 months. Yeah, I know. Not that old. Yeah, I know.
It's literally every second our children's exist, and I know I just said children's plural, is a large percentage of their lifespan. So it's kind of fun. Okay, Steven, you almost stole mine. My favorite moment was simple sentence. How do you spell Moira? OPAF. I lost it because I didn't go to BlizzCon this year because my son was to be born. Actually, it turned out to be November the 7th after all, but it was just still so close that there was no way to risk it naturally. But I mean, I was sitting in the chair I'm in right now. I had taken off of work for the afternoon for various reasons. And I mean to tell you guys, I was just dying when that came up. So like, I know it's not a moment from the game or anything, but I think it does speak to your point, Tank, where you say that we've seen kind of an evolution in Papa Jeffy Cap, praise him, over the year. And
praise him.
And what we're about to talk about next shows that even more. So it's been good to watch, kind of from the outside a little bit, but I don't know, that just killed me. Like that, there's a guy who understands his audience 110%.
So Kevin, something I took out of the supercut was you saying Papa Jeffy Cap is a good speecher.
Oh yeah,
I meant to say speaker and speech, and I took it out last minute. So I feel like now with you kind of commenting on his speech quality, that it would be an apropos time to play the speecher clip. But I don't have it. It's gone now. I have to go back and get it later. So
yeah, we'll get it sometime. The one clip I thought for sure you were gonna pull was me yelling at my dogs over hexagrams.
Honestly, there was the thought, but dude, I know the pain that kind of caused you probably internally, like kind of like the discomfort to think about that. And that episode too, I had issues with my mic mute and I was clearing my throat the whole time. So like that episode is like a sore spot for me too. And so like I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So
I'm over it.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Well, no question, my favorite moment of Overwatch 2017. I mean, you guys know I have a kind of a deep passion for esports. And so for me to be in the Overwatch arena for the Overwatch World Cup for the USA versus South Korea, I mean, it's just everything I love. It's Overwatch. It was the live sports aspect. It was 2 great teams. It was Jake, the American player, just popping off and really becoming a star in the eyes of the international Overwatch community. So that to me was just super powerful. Like to see people cheering for USA and South Korea and just the energy in that arena. Again, it felt like we're from a very passionate sports town and we talk about it on the show a lot. But all of us are from Kansas City. We all might not still live there. But whether you guys are from the Kansas side or the Missouri side, we have the loudest NFL stadium, outdoor sports stadium, I think in the world. Guinness World Record, loudest outdoor stadium, period. And so with that, for me to kind of walk out of an arena and feel that electricity and feel that kind of passion, it reminded me of Arrowhead Stadium on a Sunday or Kauffman Stadium when the Royals were going, deep into the playoffs. It kind of brings me back to my sports roots. So anyway, it's a very long-winded answer, but that has to be my biggest standout moment of 2017.
I will say that's what got me into the Overwatch League. Because you guys know I wasn't super into the tournament talk. I mean, the time we tried to do it without Slambo here, we were very much not on our game.
I don't know what you're talking about. We were fine.
I think it went great.
I think it went great.
I think it went for the greater good.
It did. We band together. But it was so fun and just live and you could just feel it. I don't know. It was great. So,
right. Well, I'm glad it wasn't just me because I felt like a crazy. Because I mean, there's so many good things. There's all these patches and announcements and heroes and maps and BlizzCon as a whole was amazing. But just to kind of connect myself back to that arena was very special. So, without question, that's mine. All right, guys. Well, with that, you know what? I think it's time for. Let me try that again because I missed the button. I don't know if it's this apple juice talking. Let me try this again. And now it's time for, well, it's the main discussion somewhere in the world. Yeah, that's right, folks. It is the main discussion. So we're going to go ahead and hop forward here. And we really just kind of, now that we went backwards in time for the, we're going to go back and talk about the past. We can also go forward here in our main discussion and talk about the future. But before we do go to the future, there's one thing we will briefly mention. We're gonna, we won't really break it. We'll talk about it right here. That's fine. And you know what? All right, that's it. I got to do it, guys. I'm sorry. I know for time, I was trying to go to the main discussion, but for this, really quickly, guys, I'm sinning. I'm sinning a little too much sin in my life. Hold on. The Church of Kaplan is now in session. Praise him. Okay, so initially here, praise him, in the Church of Kaplan, I intended to fully just kind of, like I said, we were just running a little tight on time, so I was like, okay, I'll skip this. And I'll tell you guys that never have I ever seen my co-hosts go to the chat quicker with pitchforks and say, why are we not talking about this? So even though I lied about the main discussion, we're going to replay that bumper here in a second. We're going to go back to the Church of Kaplan just to talk about the Yule log. So, Multi, I'm going to start with you. What did you think about Papa Jeffy Cap, praise him, sitting in front of the fire and all the bloopers and things that came from it?
I feel like if you didn't watch every single second of this and were not on your knees or like prone the entire time, just praising him the entire time, you did it wrong. I'm sorry, you got to be that fanatical to be a part of the Church of Kaplan. But no, I thought it was hilarious. I can't believe, I mean, I guess I can, but I can't believe it had that kind of viewership. Did it get up to like 40,000? Did I hear?
It was bigger than some Overwatch League tournament. Let's keep it real. No,
yeah,
some Overwatch tournaments, not the league.
And I have to think that people were tuning in to try to like see if there was an announcement or something like that. And then I'll tip my hand here. I didn't tune into the very end. I understand he had a little prank though, where he cut out when he was about to quote unquote announce Hero 27 and that sort of thing. So hilarious, good stuff.
I actually have to agree with Multi here. If you didn't sit and praise Stance for the entire 9 hours, you did it wrong. I, in fact, 5 hours in, had to use the restroom. I got back, got into praise Stance, felt bad about it, and started over. So.
Oh yeah, you rewound to the beginning.
Yep.
Your penance.
Got to get a catheter for that kind of stuff, man.
I just went. It's fine.
Okay, that's fine too. Anyway, Mel, how about you?
Yeah, I was just about to say it. Mel, any other thoughts here on the Yule log?
No, we just couldn't have episode 100 without the Church of Kaplan.
Okay, that's fair.
It is the one segment I wish I had been on here for more because it kind of, we started up not too long before I hopped off the show, but it's been my favorite one the whole time. Praise him.
Praise him.
For me, the best part is at the very end where the audio guy drops the mic boom and knocks his glasses off. I mean, I'm sure that was a scheduled bit, but it was just the Reddit post or the clip Twitch or the Twitch clip. God, that was backwards. Said when the audio guy gets fired, So I just thought that was funny. I thought that was a cool moment from it. Overall, like props to Papa Jeffy Cap, praise him for sitting down and filming that and really just having the awareness of how the community would respond to it, and they responded in spades.
I mean, how many people would you watch just sitting in a chair for 9 hours?
That's what I mean. The awareness that he knew we would do it. That's the part that's cool about it.
That is pretty cool. I actually told my wife about it, and she was totally confused. Like, why would anyone ever watch that? It's like, why wouldn't they? I think that's a better question.
Exactly.
I don't think you understand this, man.
It was very relaxing.
It was, yes.
It was oddly relaxing, and I would rather have that up as my Yule log than just the one on the normal TV. So,
Bingo.
More power to doing this, or I'm just going to take the archive video and watch it next Christmas. Lock it in.
We have that forever now.
Yep.
Forever.
We do. So, all right, guys. Well, now I think without getting yelled at and moving forward, we can go to our main discussion. Well, it's the main discussion somewhere in the world. All right, guys. So we're going to kind of go round table, and you guys are going to answer each 3 of these questions. So you guys have got 3 things here. What I need from you is your New Year's Overwatch resolution. So, okay, something you want to change. Maybe it's play more. Maybe it's play less. Maybe it's be nicer. Maybe it's be tank and be more of a jerk because he's good at that. Whatever it is, something Overwatch related. The next one is something you need to have in Overwatch in 2018, whether it be, anything, a map, a new type of character, some intrinsic weird feature or benefit, whatever. And then the last thing is one new character that you're going to work on in 2018. So a character that's come out recently or a character that you didn't realize you liked until lately. But anyway, so kind of your those are the things I need you to answer. We're going to start with Tank Zord. Tank, answer those 3 questions for us.
Unfortunately, at least the first half of the year, I have a lot of studying to do and a lot of testes to take. So,
that's plural tests.
3 to be exact.
Yes.
At the same time.
You didn't tune in for the pre-show. You missed that, but that is plural tests. Anyway,
Thank you.
proceed.
Yeah, that's new English for everybody.
There is Old English, so why shouldn't there be New English?
That's what I'm saying. There's an Old Testament and a New Testament, so why can't I and Kevin add
Did you really just compare
more...
languages to religion?
Stop it.
Sure.
Why can't Kevin and
Old
I...
English and New English? Why can't there be Old Testament and New Testament?
Okay.
But no, hold on. Why when Multi comes on, does everything get as close to Fringe as possible? All right, that's all I got to say.
Yeah, so Kevin and I have decided that we are going to add some emphasis and really ramp up how taking multiple testes is. Like right now, you know what? I'm not going to get into it. That's going to take forever. So I have testes to take for the first half of the season. So my goal is the second half of 2018 is to hit 3,500. Which is going to suck because there's going to be a lot of downtime, or I'm sorry, there's going to be a lack of Overwatch time for the first half of this year. Something I need in Overwatch 2018 is that damn character in the hazmat suit. When is going to be my time?
Yeah.
Need it.
You've been begging for him forever.
Forever.
I feel like at this point, Papa Jeffy Cap's just like, nah, Tank, we're going to do it, but...
Too much. You ask too much. You put the pressure on too much. Now they're shutting down. They're clamming up.
That's not true. If I've learned anything in my life, it's that if I get annoying enough and berate enough, they'll bend to the way I need.
Real quick, Tank. Real quick. If they release a character that has kind of a poison, toxic theme, but it's not the short guy in the hazmat suit, is that acceptable, or do you need the short, yellow hazmat character with the toxic abilities?
You know the answer to that.
Got it. It's the latter. I know. Yeah.
One new character I'm going to work on in 2018. I don't know. I feel like I play all of the characters at least relatively well. I play the characters that I enjoy better, and those are the ones that I play. So I don't know. I guess that's going to have to wait until we see the new characters that come out.
Fair enough.
Way to really look inside yourself there, Tank.
Well,
Yes.
I mean, if he's the best already with all of them, what's the problem? What's the problem?
That's right. Finger guns.
Lock it in. Melorina, how about you? Answer those 3 questions. What's your New Year's Overwatch resolution, something you got to have in 2018 in Overwatch, and 1 new character you're going to work on?
Okay, I won't drag this out quite as long as my friend Tank did, but
You didn't drag it out that long. You do your thing.
Yeah. My New Year's Overwatch resolution is to play more on my main account. I've been playing a lot on my alt account, and I think playing with friends, doing other things, I like having it for that reason, so I don't have to stress too much about, if I win, if I lose, I'm just having fun. But I would like to focus a little bit more on my main account, which would probably require me not to have apple juice, so that's fine. And then something I need to have in Overwatch in 2018, I think we need some Mercy buffs. I feel like she's just really falling behind. And then I really want to see new events. I want to see not reruns of the old events. If they want to bring those back too, that's fine. But I don't want to play those again. I already played those. I've been here the whole time and I want something new. And then my new character, I'm going to learn how to play Diva.
Ooh,
Nice.
Good pick. She's fun. I play a lot of her, and she's just fun. People die with those new missiles, so get ready for that. It's fun.
I will tell you, I played her for a couple games, and I totally forgot she had the missiles.
Oh, boy. Well, that's what 2018 is for, Mel. It's for you to improve on the Diva. Then I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to make sure that you're improving. I'm going to make sure you're playing her every once in a while. I'm going to check your profile. I'm going to hold you to this, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Multizord, what about you, buddy?
All right, so the resolution is definitely to play more. That's not hard to do when you're in my position. But by that I mean I don't play a ton these days, and any play at all would be an improvement. But specifically, I want to play with you guys more. Like if I can make it to any of the game nights. You guys know I'm not exactly your rank because I've kind of fallen off the wagon a little bit. But I mean, even despite that, we can still get some games in, right? Like we could hop in and crush a few out at some point.
No question.
Game nights are for all levels.
Yeah,
exactly. So there you go.
And then I'm down to quick play as long as timing works out for me. So just that's it. But yeah, okay, that's the easy
Sounds
one
good.
for you because, like you said, I mean, I don't blame you for not playing a lot. You got the new kid. I know what you're going through there and when work and all that, and you still do Lords of the Storm. So it's a lot going on.
Right. Yeah, so I'll actually jump ahead to the third question. The new character you're going to work on in 2018. And to tie it in, it's Moira. And again, it's in this case because I haven't tried her yet. I had the kid on the 7th, and you're right. I've got Lords of the Storm. I play a ton of Hearthstone. I don't know if you guys know this about me. So I just haven't had the time. I tried really hard at the beginning. Like I had some downtime when, newborns in particular sleep quite a bit. So I had quite a bit of downtime where I could just try to squeeze in some games, but I don't know what it is. Maybe you guys need to fix this for me somehow, but I cannot load my screen fast enough to be able to pick her. Nearly every time the load screen comes up, she's chosen. So it just hasn't happened yet. I mean, I played a little bit, but haven't
My
tried her
best
out.
tip
So
for that is do a training match and let the game load all the stuff and then go into your first game.
Could be.
Or get Google Fiber.
That's the alternative. Yeah.
Or
But
solid state
yeah,
drive,
so I don't know. She really appealed to me at BlizzCon, so I got to try her out for sure. But then as for something I need to have in Overwatch in 2018, I'm going to go with Athena as a hero. The talking robot Winston has, basically Jarvis-ish, but embodied.
She was in that initial art. She's kind of the white, very smoothed-edged, very, female silhouetted robot.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay.
I like
Sounds
robots.
good.
I like it.
If
okay.
she came into the game, would you come back and play with us for sure?
Oh, yeah. No question. Mm-hmm.
All right. You heard it here on episode 100. As soon as Athena comes out, he's Multizord as an Athena main, and he's back playing with us a lot more. I'm going to hold you to it.
All right.
Lock it in. Okay, I'll go through mine. My New Year's Overwatch resolution is to play with my friends more. I don't get a lot of time to play, and I do a lot of solo queue. I don't even play, like if I play competitive, it's on my own, and I play a lot of offline because, I don't want to log on and say, hey, I can only do one. I've got the baby, and then I don't know, just some kind of weird thing in me. I just don't want to, like, just pop on for one game and disappear. But I'm going to not be offline as much, and I'm going to play more with friends. I really want to do quick play more. I've always kind of, been bored with quick play, but lately I've been really into experimenting with new heroes and trying out new stuff. So quick play is a spot that I really want to connect with my friends and the community more, and I want to play more, no question, with my friends and the Overwatch community. The Cavalry
Listen,
community.
you only want to do quick play because you're just way better than all of your friends.
It's not true. The other day, Mel, you messaged me. It made me feel bad. I couldn't play with all these podcasters were in a stack, and they're like, "You can't play. You're too high." It felt like
I was like, I would have invited you, but you're too good.
It
So
was ostracizing me. I don't want to be too good. It's depressing.
Need more Smurfs.
I do need more Smurfs.
we don't
but-
condone that. At the
we
Oh yeah,
Cavalry.
sorry.
We only
Um,
condone juice accounts.
That's right. Juice accounts. Okay. Well, you guys are weird, but yeah,
Apple
that's-
juice accounts.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I need some more apple juice. Mine is all gone. So that's my Overwatch resolution. The one thing I've got to have in Overwatch 2018 is I need another anchor tank, because it's just kind of been this thing that I've been forced to become like a tank player because I consider myself a fill or a flex. And what does that mean? That means 80% of the games I have to play main tank or, off tank or sometimes support. But ultimately, a lot of that main tank role, there's not a lot of people who enjoy playing that. So I just need something else. Orisa is a good answer, but she's only kind of good on some maps. And I just want something I can kind of pick up and play more. And then on that same vein, the one character I'm going to finally work on is my Reinhardt. It's okay, but it's not great. And frankly, again, I better just embrace this tank role and go forward with it. And I've really got to polish up my Reinhardt to complete myself as a solid main tank and off tank player. And I guess those are mine, guys. So yeah, I mean, I really want you guys at home or those listening to think about what your resolutions are. So think about what you can do to improve your Overwatch experience. Think about the things you want to have, and maybe share that feedback with us on the show so we can talk about it. Write in our Discord or email us. We'll talk about that at the end of the show, or just share that feedback on the Battle.net forums. And then I think it's always good that we always add new characters in our repertoire, right? I think it's good that we're trying to be more flexible, more fluid. As our hero roster grows, our skill sets are going to grow, and the more heroes that we're better at as a community, as players of the game, the better the experience is for everybody. So that's kind of my message here. Not only did I want to talk about these things and find out what our brains were doing, but I wanted to send a message out to everyone listening at home to start thinking about these things as they're put here. So anyway,
you're just at war with the One Tricks. That's all.
That's it. You didn't know that. You didn't, because you've said it. It's ruined it. It was very subtle and it was very smart of me.
It was
Oh, it wasn't subtle. Nope.
I thought it was plenty subtle.
Mel, okay, whatever. Anyway, I don't know. I thank you guys for sharing that stuff. But I think we're gonna go ahead and move forward to. Do not give me apple.
Oh, wow, we got right past him here. This is amazing. We've never had in years. Years of cast.
In one of our might be the briefest tournament talk episodes or segments ever, it's just a quick shout out to remind everybody that Overwatch League starts January 10th, a week from today, January 3rd, when we are recording. And I just can't be more hype. I don't want to mention any further, but for anybody, just a reminder, games do start Wednesday, January 10th. Go to overwatchleague.com for all the information. Just real quickly, I want to ask Multizord. I know Tank and Mel and I have talked extensively about the Overwatch League. Mel had to take off her Houston Outlaws jersey just to record because of the green screen. So, Kevin, I just want to ask you real quick, have you been following any of the Overwatch League action, and are you going to be watching any matches?
To a degree, and yes, to answer your questions. I'm going to be a New York Excelsior guy, just through and through. I mean, I would go regionally if I could, but naturally there's nothing too close to Kansas City. And then, I would definitely go Chicago if I could. But in the meantime, I like New York. I love the name, Excelsior.
Excelsior.
Excelsior. And they're, as I understand it, one of the better rosters out there anyway. So that's good. So yeah, I think that'll be fun to watch. And yeah, I'm down. It's kind of funny. This might be one of our shortest tournament talk sections ever, and yet the most important. Like, this is the announcement of the Overwatch League finally starting.
This is it, man.
That's
I know.
ridiculous.
And that's kind of why, like, I know that, I'm doing tomorrow, we record Overwatch League Network and all that. And so I don't want to get too deep into it, but you're right. It's such a, like, my hype train is really building, and I think it's a week away to where it was just a concept and an idea at a BlizzCon a couple years ago. It's just crazy to see how far it's really come. So I'm glad to hear that, at least you'll be following some stuff. I'm glad you've got a team. Now that I know that, I can poke fun at you if they lose, and they lost to my Soul Dynasty. Hashtag soulmates.
How can you root for the soulmates though?
Well, because
I don't get it, man.
Because the same thing is that, one, my wife, she's part Korean, so I've got the attached to Seoul, Korea there.
Okay.
And then 2, they look like the Missouri Tigers logo. 3, it looks like the White Power Ranger. And 4,
that all is sweet. I'll grant you that.
4, I'm not picking a team here in the States until we have one in KC or Las Vegas.
Okay.
So
fine.
Anyway, all right. Well, thank you, Kevin, for following up with that. We're going to go ahead and kind of wrap things up here. We have a couple more quick segments for you guys, and then we'll tap things off. Kevin's got to get to Lords of the Storm. I want to give him more than a couple seconds to get going. So, all right, let's do this quick.
Ooh, this is going off. Ooh, can I get your autograph?
For our community content shout out this week, it's going to go to Around the Payload. It's from the High Noon Podcast. It's a YouTube-only channel, so we're going to have a link to their very first video in the show notes, and it's kind of a format of Around the Horn. That's an ESPN show where they bring on many different people, and the host gives them points or takes away points based on their comments. It seems like they're going to have a rotating section of guests. The first episode had Blaze and Bob, and next episode it's got Not Rob, and I think Gilfrost too, so Left Guy, for those of you who follow Twitch chat. So again, and Thorn Rain is there as well, but there's a lot of different rotating hosts. It's a cool show. It's from the High Noon, from Blevins and Death Blow, so great show, great content, very Overwatch League centric, and check it out. Okay, just for time's sake, Tank, let's do this for you.
Oh, good. Another Junkrat main. This is going to go really well. Really? Really? Of course you're a Hanzo main.
Wait, first of all, that's the best bumper you guys have.
Thank you.
Period.
We know.
Like, I actually